left off last time. Cleanse the Hiss corrupted agent. So let's see where we have to go. Alright, okay, here we go.
It didn't work. The hiss has burrowed too deep. Ripping it out rips them apart.
Okay. Got a wee note there. Okay. So is this the one that we hadn't read? The hiss manifests in human hosts in numerous ways. The most common and least intense form is seen in the many corrupted agents floating throughout the Bureau. The hiss agents have maintained their human appearance, undergoing no obvious physical transformation. The most notable distinction from an unaffected human is the fact that they levitate. These hiss have displayed no aggressive behaviour. They only seem interested in vocalising the strange incantation ad infinitum. Perhaps these vessels are only meant to propagate the hiss corruption like spores or Wi-Fi boosters, or are they cocoons preparing to enter the next stage of evolution? When attacked, hiss agents disappear, perhaps entering a state of invisibility or undergoing a transformation into a purely resonant form. Research is ongoing.
Jesse, over here.
Yeah. We're just checking here first. There might be some stuff. Yep, see? Control points are locations that the Bureau has identified as being vital junctions of the oldest house. When the appropriate harmonization devices are arranged around the control point in the arrangement, the surrounding area will not experience any unforeseen building shifts. These control points are discovered by detection of an unobstructed ping using within a 37-foot radius. Numerous researchers have attempted to define control points, calling them nerve junctures, or vulnerable spots of the oldest house. The common factor in these theories is that control points are susceptible to external influence, which allows us to stabilise the oldest house and work more confidently inside it. Theoretically, this technology could be extrapolated to stabilise the oldest house as a whole, but testing has found that certain parts of the building refuse to be. Right, let's go see Pope.
I can't cleanse them. I saw. It was worth a shot. Thank you, Director. Jesse.
I'm gonna tell her why I'm here. I'll risk it.
Listen. The Bureau was involved in an incident in my hometown, Ordinary, 17 years ago. The Bureau came in and covered the whole thing up. I've been looking for this place for a long time.
That's enough. Maybe that's too much already. I can't tell her about Dylan and the rest yet.
I've seen mentions of an Altered World event case dealing with Ordinary. You were at Ground Zero as a child? It was one of the big ones, and before my time. And very classified. I can try to dig out some old files for you. My boss, Casper Darling, would know, but he's missing. I think he knew this was coming, or suspected. He came up with the HRAs, the Hadron Resonance Amplifiers. I think they're what saved us, for a few of us. And Director Trench would know. Trench? The ghost, or whatever he is.
He mentioned something called the hotline. Said I should find it.
It's another object of power, like the gun, an old Bakelite telephone. A direct line of communication between the director and the board. Maybe he can talk to you more clearly through that. I mean, Trench has years and years of experience. He might know how to destroy the hiss.
Where is the hotline?
It's kept in the communications department through the mailroom. It's part of this sector, so we can access it even with the lockdown in place. We'll get the door open for you.
Okay, that's my next stop.
That's Tomasi's department. He's the head of communications. I don't think he had an HRA. He kind of made a point about not wearing one earlier. Keep an eye out.
They call me the director. But that's not me. I'm not a director type. I'm not a leader. Why am I here? I think you already know. Yes, I came for my brother, but there are other reasons too. I said I was looking for answers, but I might never understand them. I'm not looking for proof. This is already it. More than enough. No matter what they told me all those years, I know it's real now. I didn't imagine this. I want to be a part of this world. What scares me shitless is that I finally found it. Only to see the hiss destroy it all.
I know this is all new to you, so don't hesitate to ask me anything you want to know. There are no stupid questions.
Okay.
The door to the comms department is just
See
outside the
about that.
boardroom back in the lobby. They should have gotten it open by now. Follow the signs to the hotline should be in the communications department.
Where did the hiss come from?
I'm not sure. You said the hiss was here when you entered. Did you see anything like that outside before you came in?
No. No, just inside.
The source is internal then. See, the oldest house is a sprawling complex with openings to other places as well. I don't even know where to start looking. But in the context, it's good news. The lockdown holds. The hiss escaping the building would be the end. Pretty shitty world out there if you ask me, but I wouldn't want the hiss to destroy it.
With you on that, Emily. You mentioned the oldest house. What is it?
This building, the Bureau headquarters, the oldest house, is a shifting place. You've seen it. It transcends its physical limits.
I've been to New York a few times. How didn't I notice this place?
It's an attribute of the building. This is a place of power. The oldest house doesn't like attention, so unless you're purposely trying to find it, you don't, which is perfect for us. The work we do here is essential, but unstable. The Bureau prefers not to be noticed. And we need strong walls to make sure nothing gets out.
So without you, I never would have found the front door. Okay.
You're welcome.
This Trench guy. I keep hearing him in my head. Is he a ghost? Haunting me?
I doubt we're talking about a ghost in the traditional sense, but an echo maybe. See, if he was killed by the service weapon, your gun, maybe it's his final thoughts recorded by the bullet in his brain, like a deep space probe sending back data. But that's just a hypothesis on my part. I need the gun to research it. But you better hold on to that given the circumstances.
I think I will. Yeah. Can you tell me what an object of power is exactly? This is all, well, new to me.
Don't worry, I love going over the basics. So objects of power are mundane objects that house paranatural energies and have developed a link to the astral plane and can thus be controlled, which is what differentiates them from altered items, which are still housings of paranatural forces, but are more volatile and cannot be bound in the peri-utilitarian sense. Got it?
Did she memorize this? Got it. Thanks.
You don't know shit.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Okay.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Emily's got a bit of the uncanny valley going on. Oh, another upgrade, hopefully. Energy boost. Okay. Ethical. Assets. Clearance level 1. Mission. Unknown caller. Okay. Portrait. The only person you should fail is yourself. Looks like I have to go to the right. Maybe upstairs here. The map's not great, I must say that. I've seen better maps. Ooh. What do we have here? House memory, what? Materials. Okay. Right, so this is obviously for something that I have not found yet. Well, I'm seeing like that spiral image on the screen. Okay, we'll go in there in a second. Bathroom complaint. Oh, this could be messy. Listen, I know you can't control building shifts, but the executive level restroom has been missing for weeks now. I worked my ass off in the Islamabad station for 3 years. I've earned the right to a nice workplace shitter. If you can't bring it back, you'll at least find out where it went. D. Rodriguez. Undefined reading. Was that the other? Yeah, okay. Technological restrictions. The oldest house imposes certain limitations on our bureau, but by far the most restrictive is the inability to use certain technological instruments. The oldest house does not allow devices that receive or emit any signal. Radio waves are the only transmittable signals in the oldest house, and even those are unreliable. If the power of collective unconscious is taken into account, it could be that certain pieces of technology are too new in the cultural something for the oldest house to something them. Similarly, these items have not been known to become receptacles for altered status. Technology may be moving at too fast a pace for the to occur. Modern technology tends to disappear and break here, sometimes quite violently. Agents have been injured by cell phones exploding in their pockets while entering the oldest house. Director's office. So it's quite an open game. By the looks of it, you know, the story is going to be fairly linear, obviously, but there are definitely places to explore. So I hope you like watching that kind of thing, because I'm going to be exploring. Whoop. More upgrades. House memory. So these are the two different materials that I'm finding. Quite a number of them, so I imagine they will be used for upgrades or something. No, I don't think I want to go that way. I think that's the way I came from before, so let's go back through here. Okay, so to go to where I'm wanting to go to, I think that's downstairs. That's probably what that spiral thing was. There's got to be someone in here. Surely. No? That's surprising. I'm getting a slightly Prey vibe to this game. If you have played the new Arcane Prey game, that was, you know, slightly clean office kind of look to some areas, and this must be the way I have to go. Yeah. Oh, energy renewal weapon mod. Energy gained from headshots. What is energy? Is that my powers? Just keep them.
There it is again. Our welcome message.
Out my way, motherfuckers. Do I not have clearance this one? Okay. Here we go. Those first few shots were fish. Travel costs. Somebody visited the following Nevada accommodations: Desert Sun Inn, Big Sky Motel, Starlight Motel, In and Out, Aztec Court, Sleepy and Bear Motel, Silver Spurs Ranch, El Gato, Blanco Inn, and A Plus Lodge. Expenditures. I do wonder if a motel called Ocean View is going to be found in a landlocked state, but hey, I guess I'm not paid to think, right? And for the record, I again request that you give us the budget to get 2 rooms each night. Agent Rowley and myself are very tired of sleeping in the same room. See you on the road, Agent Hines. The boys in research said performing rituals may help identify any places of power. Drinking those little whiskies is my ritual. Ooh, that's grim. So if I get rid of these, the voice is going to stop. I keep pressing square to reload. Oh, wait a minute now. Weird, it's like their bottom jaw's been removed. A bit too close for comfort. So even if the reticule is facing the way you want to aim, if she is facing the other way, that's the way she'll do the power, so that's a bit confusing. Fuck. Oh, right, okay, that's taken off a lot. Interesting. Hiss barrier. This resonance field is a physical impediment that is difficult to define. Hiss barriers appear as ways to impede escape or access by Bureau personnel. 2 methods have been discovered for lowering them. Destroy the multiple concentrated resonance sources found in the vicinity. Destroy the Hiss entities in the area. The resonance fields seem to require support for their size and density from other non-connected sources of Hiss resonance. Without the ability to draw from these sources, the barrier will fall. Does an inactive structure made of Hiss resonance qualify as a conscious being? Does the distinction make any difference when considering the Hiss? What does the very act of building walls to prevent our movement tell us about the Hiss? To what degree are they watching and planning? So, open that a second. are more enemies in the area that I need to kill before that will disappear. Finally, something worthwhile in the bog. There's a lot of very unsettling noises in this game. Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah. Machine God. Havana summary. An auditory event occurred in the United States Embassy in Havana, injuring the majority of diplomatic staff stationed there. So many deaths were reported, and the outgoing information has been managed. Event Response Bureau agents arrived at the embassy on the same day as the event was reported through federal channels, but were too late to witness the AWE, which is reported to have been. Staff experienced sudden intense vibrations and noise, accompanied by an intense pressure in the ears. This lasted for minutes. No visual phenomena was witnessed. The scene was cordoned off, and the embassy staff were transported to the continental US. After Formula 1.9 or I.9 was recited in the vicinity, a single cowboy boot began to vibrate, identifying it as the altered item. The item was contained and brought to the Bureau for examination. Oops. Machine God. I had a dream, and I built the thing I saw in my dream. A machine that will contain God, but not the God you know or the ones anyone knows. A new God. This machine will be his body, his heart, and his mind. I made it just like the dream showed me. I used the motor from the refrigerator and the coils from my toaster and the fans, plus the timing belt from my car's engine and the wheels from my son's skateboard. God can't move yet, but the dream said he would learn how on his own. This is just a beginner's body, like the baby's, but a machine instead. God only needs a place to start. If you want to interview me, please contact me on the address in the envelope. My phone does not work anymore. I had to use the dialing plate on God. Sounds like a mentally stable individual. Right in, cunts. Give me some of that house memory. Whoa! Shit. Shit. I can't see a fucking thing. Give me some of that sweet health. How do I... Can I change the shoulder? I'm sure I was aiming over the right shoulder when I last played this. Oh, there we go. That's better. Resident Evil 4 styly. What you got for me, rooms? Ooh. Some more collectibles all over the place. Trench, dead letter approval. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloguing the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will provide an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive will allow us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with a paranatural world. The letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is the perfect home for them. I realise not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even the erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. Of course, I will first compile a system to allow us to analyse the letters for any information or suspected connections to AWEs and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. Bartwell. Son, you ain't right. Health recovery. Health recovery on element pickup plus 23. Let's give that one a go. That might be stupid, but singing fish. Mr. Governor, I called the police, but they never come to my house. I got a problem and you got to send folk to fix it. I got my wife, one of them, singing fish on the walls. It's not a real fish, it sings when you hit a button, but it's got the devil in it. It flies around at night and sings devil songs, says lots of cuss words. The devil got in my house because of the fish, and you got to come handle it. My wife is real upset. When can you come? Sincerely, Dwayne Barr. Right then, where is all that? Can I smash through here? Right on! Oh, here we go. A bit of health. Oh, that's cool. So I think if you kill them all, then the voice does disappear. Which is good because it's annoying as fuck.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping 80 kilobytes. Stolen by our friends at the CIA, the disk held the launch codes to Soviet nukes. This is not the disk, of course, but one exactly like it. A perfect fusion of concepts vibrating in the Cold War era collective unconscious. A receptacle it is a receptacle for dangerous energies to hone in on. And they did. We don't have the details, but when things started flying around the disk, it was transferred to us. It's an object of power. Oh, okay. Oops. Oh, and it can launch things telekinetically through the air. To date, we've launched maybe 3 dozen pencils. And once, we even launched a cup.
I see.
Communications. We're on the right track.
Okay, well, I think that's probably a good place to stop there for the second part. Thank you, and see you in part 3.